G'day guys, and welcome to this first look inside the technical alpha of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Asobo released this technical alpha on the weekend of the 12th of October for the flight sim community to jump in and explore, then submit any feedback that they had. Disclaimer, this technical alpha does not fully represent the final release of MSFS 2024 and could be subject to change upon the release. That being said, I've had a jam myself and I'm eager to discuss the features of MSFS 2024. If you haven't already joined and played, you will know that there's only a selection of 3 aircraft, all planes: a F-18 Hornet, a Cessna 172 Skyhawk, and the Cub crafters. So no helicopters, which, you know, we can't be having that on this channel. How close can we get to being a helicopter? So I thought, let's chuck on some 40 knot headwinds and jump into a STOL and rip the flaps to 100%. So here we are in Anchorage, Alaska, and we're above the river of Knik and around the Knik glacier. So we've got a few sandbars and gravel bars to land on and practice our landings in 40 knot winds. So definitely going to be a challenge. Let's see how it goes, and then we'll talk about my first impressions of MSFS 2024. So I'm going to pause the game here. We're going to adjust the wind speed just in increments. I've got it heading southeast. We're heading in that direction, so we've got this wind coming straight on into our wings. So we'll start with 20 knot headwind, just so we can get a little bit closer to the sandbar. I've attempted this before, and 40 knot headwinds pretty strong, and I've had multiple flips, so we're going to keep going till we get closer to the sandbar, and then we'll ramp up the wind speed. And I'm going to ramp it up to around 40 knots. We'll do flaps to full for a full STOL effect, and that'll keep us kind of catching the wind. Very turbulent, as you can see by the shaking of the aircraft. As soon as you get caught off guard by it, it's all over, so I'm pretty focused right now. Okay, safely made on the ground. Pop these flaps back up so we don't catch any more wind and get taken away. Man, just listen to that wind. So there's definitely one feature here that I'm super stoked on, and that is you can enter and exit the aircraft as your avatar. No more floating cameras, and a big yes to animations and sound effects. What's in here? Bit of storage. Pretty cool that we can interact with the aircraft now and access its cargo. I can't wait for cargo specific missions where we have to unload and load. And just look at the trees bend at the will of the wind. Man, that's a cool sight to see. Really cool new feature. I have noticed a color correction. MSFS 2020 has this sort of green hue color, and now it's been corrected in MSFS 2024. And of course, MSFS 2024 is super photogenic with the new skybox. As I explained before, we aren't just a floating camera. We do have a body, so we've got arms, legs, whatever, and we can crouch, and we look exactly how we've customized our character. Anyway, we'll set our flaps to full and take off into this wind. I don't know, pretty close to helicopter, guys. That was a very short takeoff. Getting a bit thrown around in the wind here. In terms of the flight model and how the plane handles, I can't really tell the difference between 2020. So it definitely feels a lot more like smoother. There's not as many unusual behaviors as you would get in 2020. But then again, I haven't had the chance to fly a helicopter, so as you guys can see from my intro cinematic footage, I was playing around earlier and skimming the Tundra tires in and out of the water, effects from the water. Really nice feature. I've also seen that there is dust effects. So as you rip the throttle on a Piper Cub or whatever, and you're in these dunes or whatever, salt flats, you know, dust flies from behind your aircraft. And not to mention the downwash from helicopters. Once it's released in November, we'll have access to the helicopters. So I've completely stripped back the wind, just make this landing a little bit easier, and I'll try and bleed my airspeed for a smoother landing. Man, this ground is so bumpy. So much for the smooth landing. Okay, I'll apply my brakes here and pray we don't eat dirt. Okay, not my best landing, but any landing that you can walk away from is a good one, and of course, that's exactly what we can do in MSFS 2024 now. We can simply exit the aircraft and walk away. So, as I said about interacting with the aircraft earlier, it's a much needed feature and I'm glad it's here. We can do pre-flight checks, a huge part of the aviation practice. Moving and interacting with parts of the aircraft is so immersive and it just gives more depth to the game. Another cool new feature, the character customization. Customize your own in-game avatar to make it look the way you want it. I can just see the modding community popping off over this and creating all sorts of awesome outfits and different flight suits, flight helmets, and rescue flight suits, you name it. So really looking forward to that. You know, as far as 2020 goes, as close as we could get to a flight suit for a helicopter was the jet flight suit, which you couldn't remove the oxygen mask, which was kind of a little bit silly having that kind of person in a helicopter. So I'm glad we've got more variety with this new release. Man, the sound of that wind just really makes you feel like you're here. The dynamic trees directly responding to the wind input is such a cool feature, and I'm pretty stoked on it. But yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed this STOL demonstration. Covered a few of the many new features in MSFS 2024, and I'm super looking forward to its release in November next month. But as for that, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Cheers.